The reason we have you guys together, and we're going to talk about this, your wives are your partners.
Yes.
Wait,
fact.
what does that
It's
mean?
a fact.
I mean, we look like brothers. Let's be real.
Unfortunately for you.
Yeah, I told this joke earlier, but I think it's really funny. Where was your mom in 1985?
Now, boom. What do you think?
Oh my God, here we go.
What do you have to say about this? I'm so interested.
so-
He's gonna hate.
No.
taste it while
It's all positive.
Well, welcome to this episode of Bourbon of Proof, and we are very honored to have two very fun individuals. We have Chris Hart, Whiskey Pete, Whiskey Neat, we're gonna co-host. He knows more about whiskey than I do. I'll be more of your color guy for this one, but it's fine. We have Ali Salimi coming from Atlanta, and I mean, we look like brothers. Let's be real.
Unfortunately for you.
Yeah, I told this joke earlier, but I think it's really funny. Where was your mom in 1985? We even laugh the same.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward for you. I don't know, but it's good. And Tom Dickerson coming from Kansas City. So the reason we have you guys together, and we're going to talk about this. Your wives are your partners.
Yes.
Wait,
fact.
what does that
It's a
mean?
fact.
They're lawyers. Their wife is also lawyers. They're partners at their firm.
Okay. How do those arguments go?
I assume much like any other argument where the wife
Arbitration's involved?
You try to be as quiet as possible. Is what you do.
Well, that's
No,
awesome.
it's been my experience has been, I feel like it's made the home life a little bit better because it's not like her and I are coming from two separate areas and then we convene in home base.
Wow.
And the other person doesn't know what you've gone through. We've been together all day, so even if we're frustrated with each other, it's like, okay, I understand, I want to tell you to fuck off, but I'm stressed out too. So you just do what you need to
Okay,
do.
let's
How do you formally tell her to fuck off? Is it like a cease
You
and desist?
can't. Yeah. It's
You send her a cease and
he hires
desist?
another lawyer and says it over. Yeah, right? I mean, that's what you have to do. Okay, let's
pretty
get in. We got to get hot. Real
Oh
quick.
yes, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Ali brought this,
Cheers,
and we're going
boys.
to cheers first, and we're going to talk about what this is. This one's you're going to like this, Chris. You've never had it.
Whiskey Row, huh?
Much better than you thought it would be.
I had no preconceived notions going into this, as my formal statement.
Okay. Don't talk yet, but it's smooth for what it is. It's over 100. Bottle and bond.
I like a good bite. It's definitely got it. I feel it in my throat.
This is rye, isn't it?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
It's
not
got some
really.
rye in it for sure.
I was gonna
over
say I could
51.
really,
Should've
I
got the
feel
mash
the rye
bill
coming
here.
out. On that.
So this is the recent Ali. we were on the trail together yesterday, and he had a very funny moment at this distillery. This is the Jefferson one, right?
That
So
was it.
I never heard of this whiskey, but this you can only get in Kentucky. You can't ship it out of here. The Whiskey Row ones. We'll pair this with a video because I have the second part of this on video, where he does this very cute pose, like.
It's adorable.
Oh, is this on the buffalo? I think I saw.
Bro, you
this.
saw the buffalo
I
one.
saw this.
So he did it on top of this old truck outside of the distillery, right? So he gets on top of the truck and does this cute little pose. After 10 minutes after, we're just sitting outside the bus, we're waiting to go to the next distillery, and this groundwater just starts fucking pouring out from underneath the truck. He's laughing. I don't know if you're culpable right now, but like after this happened, this weird fucking like sewage water came up from under the truck and was just pouring down. We're like, holy shit.
It was really bad because my mouth was open as I was breathing, and so it got in there. It was real thick.
Wait. So did you break something, or what was the?
But it was weird. It was coming from the ground. This is why
Yeah.
it's weird.
Well, because right underneath the truck. So I think when I climbed on top of the truck, it was soft. It was mushy. So I think maybe the truck went down a little bit. And
Mara was also on the truck. He was back in he was in the bed. Just like full disclosure.
we're like two peas in a pod, Morrow and I.
Well, I feel like there's enough lawyers here that, and I've always wondered this because we talked about this in the last episode. Has there ever been something done on these interviews that might affect a case?
Oh, dude,
Dude, I constantly wonder about that. I was wondering when I walked in. I was like, what can
I've watched
can
a
and
handful of
cannot talk
interviews
about?
and there's been some
This
things
could be-
said today. I'm
Yeah.
like, and they make.
your kids are 16, 17, but you have younger ones.
I have 5 and 6 years old. Yeah, as well too.
We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about cases, bro.
Yeah.
We don't talk about cases. No.
Yeah, so nothing has ever come up that's like compromised the outcome
So
of the
I
case.
think all of us here are sophisticated enough to have like 10 drinks and not disclose confidential.
Not me, bro. I'm not a lawyer.
So
I have some
Tom,
things I want to say about my wife.
tell me in my ear, trying to
Yeah.
So Tom practiced with his wife out of Kansas City. Huge bad faith verdicts, huge, and does
What does
a lot
that
of
mean?
spine
A
cases.
bad faith verdict.
Oh, bro. He
So,
doesn't- yeah, this is
so
great. This is great.
it comes in two forms, right? So you have cases in which potentially the policy is open and you hit an excess verdict.
So that means like, say you have a $100,000 insurance policy, right? And you hit somebody, and they're hurt pretty bad, whatever, and you expect your insurance company to like
Cover
pay
it.
them to cover
Yeah.
it. If they don't cover it, you can sue your insurance company and be like, why the fuck? I've been paying for this. Why the fuck didn't you do that? And
Meaning if
happens
it was
all-
like less than 100, like
Yeah.
if it was like 40,000 and they didn't cover it, I'd be like,
correct. What were you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, what have I been paying you
Yeah.
this whole time
Imagine
for?
if it was worth you had 100 worth $1 million.
Yeah.
And the other side of the attorney was like, hey, can you pay us 100? And they were like,
Nope.
Yeah. The
well,
beauty,
how would that affect you? This is
the
where this
beauty
guy
of
goes.
it is normally you would be limited to the policy. So let's say the insurance company does the right thing. You go all the way through litigation. You might have a brain injured person. This is the inequity of it. You might have a brain injured person. Their policy limit is 100, and if the insurance company has tendered that policy early and done the right thing and paid, you'll never get more than 100 unless you want to go after that person personally. Well, you can't get blood out of a stone. People don't have that type of money laying around. If somebody's got, a brain injury, that case is worth millions and millions,
Sure,
of
sure,
tens of millions of dollars potentially. So they don't have that money. So the beauty of bad faith is you can
can go
take
over.
these cases and you can, the sky's the limit.
For
It's
whatever.
unlimited for
But
whatever it's
the
actually
trigger
worth.
is the insurance company
Yeah.
doesn't protect you, the person that has the policy. When somebody says, hey, we'll settle for it, and the insurance company's like, well, fuck you guys, let's just
Yeah.
like wait you out.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a weird
cool.
concept because
yeah.
it's the person that was at fault,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's compensating the victim. It's almost like the reason is the insurance company didn't protect their insured that was
Me.
caused it.
Correct.
Yeah. I've got this policy. I paid for it every year. I've never once filed a claim. I file a claim. You're not covering it. Now I'm going to sue the shit out of you, and the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
So-
some
But they
ideas.
have to have
Yep.
a reasonable opportunity to pay it.
Yeah,
Sure.
That's it.
exactly.
That's the only trigger, right?
Yep.
Everywhere. We did these podcasts. That's like
Yeah.
the one consistency amongst all the jurisdictions.
Yeah.
They have to have a reasonable opportunity to pay the policy.
Yeah, and really what that involves is you just give them a demand letter or settlement opportunity. That's the better way to call it these days. That's a Nick Rowley thing.
that's
yeah.
good.
No, I mean, we're getting there. Well, you learn after you do these cases letter. Juries are like, demand. What's a demand? If you say insurance company, you had a reasonable opportunity to settle, people understand that. They don't understand demand. So credit to Nick Rowley for that one. But
What's up with these boots? Because I love these.
They're
okay,
incredible. Ostrich.
So these they're ostrich. These are Tacovas. These were actually a gift. So I went and taught.
They're ribbed for your
bad
pleasure.
faith and
Yes, a rib for you.
I taught bad.
This is this kind of interview.
I taught bad faith and spine cases to the largest personal injury firm in Kansas.
So like 4 people.
No, look,
Solid burn.
no, these guys they're like your size. They got
Really?
like 70 some employees. Yeah,
Wow.
they got a lot of people. They're really big in Wichita. They're in Topeka. They got maybe 25 or so lawyers. And so we just went down there. We did a workshop. We said, okay, this is what you should do in demands. This is how you should open policies, and this is when to say no and when to push them extra contractually. Yeah.
But I mean, the beautiful thing is you do a lot of the same philosophy is teach first, like
Yes.
give, because like we're all in the same fucking.
Yeah.
This is us. We're trying to help consumers, so teach everybody
Yeah.
how to do it.
There's such a benefit for spreading that knowledge too. Like I just adhere to the philosophy. Like when you give out to the universe, it all.
Why aren't you wearing your X-Men T-shirt? I saw.
I
you.
know, right?
I'm
This
so
morning.
pissed about that. You had a beautiful, like, weathered X-Men T-shirt.
Yeah. So that's the only T-shirt I brought on this trip, and I had to get this IV because we've been drinking bourbon.
Oh, I know.
And I'm like, I gotta get this IV. I can't go down there. I gotta be able to pull up my, my shirt and expose my arm. Like, okay, I'm wearing my X-Men T-shirt. But truthfully, I was a huge Marvel fan growing up.
So we,
love all the movies.
3
now.
episodes before we had a fight. You were the DC guy.
Yeah,
Fuck, who's this guy?
This guy, that
He's
was
a
like
DC guy.
30 minutes ago. You already forgot.
Yeah.
I was the DC guy. He was talking about Marvel. But go ahead, talk about your shitty shirt.
So the shirt I had was actually from the first iteration from cartoon X-Men. And growing
Oh,
up,
the 90s.
I just loved it. And
So good.
the beauty
You
is
can go on Disney
it's
Plus
now on
right
Disney
now.
Plus
We talked about
right
this.
now.
Our
Yeah,
kid,
you
my
can
daughter
watch it.
watches it, and it's so good.
It's
the first
so
episode,
good.
Jubilee, is like she's the fucking one. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Fireworks fingers.
Yeah, they have the
Yeah,
set.
fireworks figures.
It's awesome. It's
He
awesome.
wasn't allowed to be in Marvel because like,
Everything
it's
looked
too-
like demons.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up
Yeah.
in almost a religious cult, almost. But no, I mean, I was a big fan of Spider-Man, and at the same time, the best two shows that's ever been on TV that were Marvel were the '90s
Yeah.
X-Men and the '90s,
Dude, the 90s,
Spider-Man.
if you watch it now, dude, it's really funny. Like the shit he says and does, it's really fucking
X-Men
funny.
or Spider-Man?
It was Spider-Man.
Yeah, Mary Jane was a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, she jumps off a roof. There's like this famous clip where she jumps off a roof randomly, and he's like, "Why'd you do that?" She's like, "I just wanted to see if you loved me." All right, bitch. I'm watching Superman.
No, but he does like funny one quips. Like he's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh god, it's good.
The thing I love about like the modern Marvel deal is it's masterful storytelling, right? They took all these individual little stories and then they built it into this big story, and it's the
big picture,
Avengers saga.
too.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, what
the way they
Marvel's
did it.
done in
Yeah.
the multiverse Marvel thing is
They
like
call
what,
the MCU.
yeah, the MCU. What the MCU's done
MCU.
Yeah.
MCU.
to
You said T.
what did I say?
You said T.
MTU.
MTU.
He's really not a Marvel
yeah, I'm
fan.
speaking in cursive.
Yes,
It's our 4th episode, guys. MCU.
Respect.
No, is when I realized growing up that the Stephen King universe was all connected. I was,
What?
Yes.
What?
Every book Stephen King's ever written is all connected into a multiverse, including The Shining.
No, it is not.
Really?
Including It. Including.
You can't intertwine Twit with like or it
Twit?
with like
That's
Tommy knockers.
That's
I was thinking Tommy knockers and tit. And,
That's worse than a tit.
Oh, god damn, Freudian slip. All right, speaking of Freudian
going
slips,
everywhere.
Yeah.
we went to Pepperdine, but we were not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
Yeah.
Talk
So,
about beautiful. God.
You started off doing like real estate shit, right? That's why you went to law school. You were like, fuck, this is my path.
Yeah, I'm from Georgia, and I was a banker in a previous life.
You
I
look
kept-
like a banker. By the way, you have kids on your shoes, dude. I'm looking at this.
Yeah, these
Oh,
are my
these socks.
kids. I was like,
I want to see these shit.
My-
Can
my-
I
my-
see these kids?
my kids are,
Wait, those are pictures of my kids. Bring it to me on a show.
This Jerry Springer. Wow, no.
they're on YouTube all the time, and they want to be on podcasts, so I know they're gonna watch this. I'll bleep it out for them. So I was like, this is my way of having.
How old
them.
are your
Show the
kids?
support.
They're 6 and 8.
Awesome.
Yeah. By the way, you're talking about his X-Men T-shirt. I didn't have a suit when I got here. My girl Jeannie Foley at Suit Shop had this shipped St. Patrick's Day.
I mean, I love it.
It looks great.
It arrived yesterday. I found a tailor to hem the pants this morning.
Really?
And now I'm wearing a suit. It was one of the easiest suit transactions ever. Not tailored, nothing.
This is the difference between you and I. Like lawyers, like I had a suit flown in, I had it fitted in 24 hours. The hotel lost my fucking car.
Oh, dude. Yesterday he showed up late to the whole fucking Bourbon Trail. The hotel lost his car, and
They
then
lost my rental car. They valeted it. They're like, I don't know.
gone,
where it is.
gone.
Yeah, and you had a suit flown in. They're
Since we're recording, he had a Van Gogh that he was traveling
Yeah.
with.
Oh man.
$7 million. Yeah.
That was the car you were telling me that had the glove compartment full of Fabergé eggs.
Yes,
That was it!
And
Oh,
there was the
Rolexes.
Rolexes. The Rolexes.
But he didn't
yeah.
want to tell the story because the Russian thing. God, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you know, you say that, but our valet ticket says our maximum level of culpability is $500. So I don't
You
think
can't. That's an adhesion contract.
That doesn't mean anything.
Wow.
Tom, tell him. No,
Yeah,
no,
no,
not cool.
no.
What's
no,
an
no,
adhesion contract? Oh
no.
my God, I love
Adhesion
this
contract.
podcast.
Those are all insurance contracts, my friend. You don't get to negotiate the terms.
Right,
So,
you just receive them.
yeah. So
Nobody actually signs off on that shit.
Yeah. So most of the time they're unenforceable, but to the extent they are enforceable, all of the terms are construed against the drafter of the contract.
Well, this is exactly how I felt when they told me they lost my car, and I read the thing about the level of maximum culpability. I thought, I'm at a conference with 200 lawyers. I'm not really worried about this.
Yeah.
Just get back to me when you
so
can't.
in California, the maximum level of culpability for somebody hurt by medical negligence, if you go in, they cut off the wrong arm. If you have an amputation, they cut off the wrong arm. $250,000.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, dude, your eyebrows. People don't know that shit, man. It's fucking
The
crazy.
caps are
maximum
insane.
level is 250K
Passed
to
in
lose an arm.
1976 with no like fucking inflation, which you know what that is, right?
And
So what do y'all do in those situations?
Every time you try and put
Nobody
it on the ballot,
Guys like this, these guys here, you
Won't
can't
take
take
the
those
case.
cases. It's too expensive. We're trying to make money as a business. You cannot do it. We would do that case for free and pay $200,000 to get $250,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
bro.
crazy thing is every time it comes on a ballot,
Let's do another
vote,
pour before we talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this
yeah.
fucking sad shit.
Can we do this?
Yeah,
I'm
let's talk
super
about it.
excited. Okay.
So
He's super excited.
you know a lot about this?
I know a lot about
but-
it. I'll let you talk
Okay,
first.
No, I want you to talk.
Okay.
Everybody is tired.
So I got on this Japanese whiskey kick a while ago. So in 2007, I got into bourbons, and I tried like every bourbon I possibly could. And so then I, decided to transition a little bit, and so I started trying Japanese whiskeys. And the interesting thing about Japanese whiskey is it started off as Scotch imitation, like when Japan was starting to, modernize. They went over to Scotland and they started to make whiskey. And so all of the initial Japanese whiskeys are all Scotch imitations.
That's why I don't like them.
The thing, and I don't like them either because I don't like the peat.
There you go.
Right? This is not
I know.
peated at all.
All my friends like this.
Oh,
I
it's
haven't
so
had
good.
it yet, so I'm interested.
Oh well, this is fantastic then. So this is made in like the
Oh,
thing.
bro, you know it. I'm dying right now.
He's chomping.
The thing that's so
He's
good
either
about
really
it.
happy or really mad.
The thing that's so good about it is, like Japanese culture, they try to perfect everything. I feel that this is a modern incarnation of Japan's attempt to hybridize bourbon and Irish whiskey. The body's great, it's super sweet, it smells great, it's great. Now, it's made in a coffee still, which is totally different. So, I'll talk to people and be like, oh, it says coffee, it's gonna taste like coffee. No, it doesn't taste like coffee, it has nothing to do with that. It's made in a coffee still, which is a
I didn't know
column
that.
still. It's just a column still. But most whiskey made in Japan is actually made in a pot still, which that's how they make
You
Scotch.
hate pot stills.
Yeah.
No, I don't hate pot stills. But go ahead.
likes the
so,
bur- I mean, go.
So I love this stuff. I think it's fantastic. It's my absolute favorite whiskey out of bourbons or anything else. It really is. And so I'm glad to share it. Now,
Boom.
what do you think?
Oh my God, here we go.
What do you have to say about this? I'm so interested.
so-
He's gonna hate.
No,
He's gonna-
taste it while he's-
It's all positive. It's all positive. So, yes, you're right. Scotland, or not Scotland, but Japan, their entire whiskey industry is modeled directly after Scotland. In fact, a lot of things sold, they have very loose laws there currently, which there was
Like
a
they
recent,
have underwear and like vending machines.
yeah. There was a recent change in the last year or so.
I thought it was true.
I've seen that.
But is that a wives' tale? Is that like
No,
the
that's
shit-
a real thing. In
Okay.
Japan, you can go buy used underwear in a vending machine.
Or so you've heard.
Yeah, we have a third business, but let's not talk about that right now. So I'm wearing them now.
Age 12 years.
Yeah. So yes, they all modeled after Scotland pot stills. I like pot still. I like Scotch. I don't like pot still bourbon. I like column.
Okay,
bourbon.
okay,
Most
okay,
column, or most bourbon is made in column stills, and Japan's actually quite obsessed with Kentucky. Some of the best whiskeys.
They do a lot of like Blanton ones in Japan.
There's a bottle off camera. Yes, correct. There's a bottle off camera there that's from Japan. It was a Japanese export from Kentucky. Because before we had a bourbon boom here in the U.S., it was already happening in Japan. The coffee malt and there's another one, coffee grain.
Yep, absolutely.
The coffee grain's 95% corn whiskey, column still. I think the coffee malt is mostly barley.
Malta barley. Yep.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's absolutely tremendous. You're absolutely right. There's a lot of hype behind Japanese bourbon right now that is very expensive and is ultimately Scotch. Like for instance, Nika from the Barrel is actually
It's very you could taste the smoke.
it's
Not a
actually
fan.
from
Not a
Scotland.
fan.
The vast majority.
Really?
Of it, yes, the vast majority of it was just imported from Scotland as Scotch, and then they just teaspooned. It's called a teaspoon malt, where if you bring in,
I couldn't wait. It's fine.
I've been drinking it too.
I haven't tried it yet. Okay, let's try it.
It's fine.
Okay, here we go. We're
Ollie,
gonna try it
handsome as he.
simultaneously. And cheers, boys.
I think it fucks.
Yeah,
The first
definitely
we met
fucks.
Mauro and he's like, I watched the episode, and he looked at Mauro. He goes, that guy, yeah, he fucks.
I heard this story about getting robbed after a poker game, and I'm like, that guy has definitely paid for sex.
The best part of that story was he got robbed, but his friend got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It's the greatest story of all time. I had, I'll tell you a story. I
here
thought
we
about this last night. So we got
How late?
we got cameras installed at the house. I've got teenage kids. I don't want anyone sneaking out, and definitely don't want anyone sneaking in. But we also have about 1,200 bottles that we use for events and stuff. We want to make sure we keep an eye on it. So they're amazing. Do you have Ring?
Yeah.
Ring's
I have all the
amazing,
shit,
right?
yeah.
You can talk through it, you know, and I get a notification one night that someone's in my garage at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh Lord.
And I pull it up.
Dude, if this was around when I was a kid, my dad would have been like, "You're stealing the fucking whiskey."
Yeah.
Every night.
Every night. We filled it with water, and one day he drank it, and he was so pissed.
I pulled it up, and I see at the far end of the garage, way away from the bottles, I see my wife in a towel
No.
grabbing something out of the dryer. And I think, all right, let's, we have 15 years, let's add a little spice to this. So I pull up my phone, and you can talk through it, right? There's a little microphone. And I'm like, let's drop that towel and show Daddy what you got. And she stands up, and she turns around, and she goes, Daddy? And it was my daughter.
Oh man.
It was my 16-year-old daughter, and I said, Daddy.
No.
And I was like,
It's gonna cost you 10 years of fucking counseling.
I
bro.
was like, what are you doing up? Go to bed. You're grounded. Like,
My kids are definitely not going to watch this
Yeah,
podcast.
my wife called me within 10 seconds, and as soon as I hit answer, I just hear her cackling for 30 seconds straight. To this day, they still make fun of me for it. But you look, it was late. I thought you were in bed. I had no
These are
idea.
lessons we gotta start learning. We have to start
Yeah, I
learning.
want to forget that entire story.
So Ali, I love how you have your face pin right here.
Oh,
Like you and I, we have a very similar profile, right? So I
Yeah,
have like
yeah.
this. I would wear this.
well, it's funny they say that, Bob.
This is not scripted, by the way. This is not scripted, and I'm gonna wear it.
You're gonna have the. I can remake it with an LA hat. That's
I'm
got
not
a Braves
a fucking
hat on
LA
it.
hat guy.
Put a Pittsburgh Pirate hat on it, maybe. But,
Pittsburgh, yeah.
He's wearing green.
Yeah. The face is on my profile pictures for everything on social media, on Uber, and it's the
It
only
works,
time.
man. Every time I see this, I think of you. When I see this logo.
So is it a social media thing?
is
Are
good.
you building a brand?
He's a whole brand in Atlanta, Georgia. This is him.
We're essentially all brands at this point, right? It's
Yeah.
what Warhol said is coming true. We're everyone.
But everything he does, I mean, I'm a big fan of your social. We never met until yesterday on the Bourbon Trail. Like we've talked here and there, but like Ali has very cool stuff where, like very informative, like the videos of how you do stuff. The Big Mac stuff was genius, like
Thank you.
stacking policies. Like he actually does real educational stuff. But it's funny. Like you're with your kids, your wife. They practice together, like you two.
Yeah.
He's not just living life with his children and like.
Well, the reason I ended up at Pepperdine, Bob, was because I wanted to be a stand-up comedian.
Get the fuck out.
Oh my God.
I'm on YouTube, Persian comic.
Oh my God.
No!
I didn't make it.
We are gonna.
up.
Okay, wait.
right after this.
Okay, we're gonna film this.
I'm saving it now.
Right here, we're gonna put the Ali Persian comic right here. Bombing right here.
Yeah, it wasn't great, obviously. So my fallback plan was to become an attorney.
Can I put a Persian this close to my neck?
As long as you're not in an airport, it's fine.
How often you get stopped because of the beard? Because I get stopped because of the beard. It's my profiling.
Well, I don't think it's the beard. I'm pretty sure it's my identification. And how often? Literally every time.
Yeah.
Every
Travel
time
with
it's
my
an
wife and kids. Every time we travel internationally, they pull me aside all the time. It's because of you, fucking asshole. They do the face scan and it comes up as you.
That's my fault. Sorry.
Oh God.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, how dare you? Sir, right this way, right this way.
You start rolling up your sleeve. Have you seen the skin tone?
Not been touched.
I just show him my credit score. Right this way, right this way.
Oh,
It's funny. I also show them your credit score.
So you
was
were a
the-
stand-up comic.
I was a stand-up
I am
comic. Yeah.
obsessed with stand-up comics. I've told that story
we were
on
talking
stage.
about this, man.
Really?
Yeah, the story about my daughter. I did an open mic. Dude's like, dude, 5 minutes. I'm like, I have one thing I can tell that's really embarrassing. And he's like, just do it. It was a nightmare. The first time I did it was great. The second time I did it, it was right after the George Floyd thing. So nobody was, that story did not go well. But how
Back to
often-
the skin tone.
Yeah. I get up on stage, I apologize immediately. How often did you do it? Like, tell me the story.
believe it or not, I actually decided to get into stand-up comedy because I was a shy kid, and I
You
found
were a shy kid.
yeah, I'm still very shy. I've just
Fuck out of here.
There's a
I'm
version
telling
of that
I'm
pin
kind of
where
the
he
same
looks
way,
like
man.
this.
Yeah, clearly. No, I mean, this is years of overcoming the inhibition of speaking or saying anything out loud. But in middle school, I found out that if I made kids laugh, I wasn't going to be a target for anything, right? I grew up, my parents are Persian. I grew up in the South, and they named me Muhammad Ali. Not fantastic for me in Georgia. So by cracking
Especially around
jokes.
2001. Yeah.
Well, 2001 was actually, you introduced me as Ali. My full name is Muhammad Ali. I went to the University of Georgia. The senior year career fair was scheduled for September 12th, 2001. So immediately, I didn't know what to do. My transcripts weren't going to match. So the only thing I could do was just drop the Muhammad down to an M period. And I was like, I'll go with Ali. I got a job, so things worked out all right. Yeah, so I've been going by Ali since, I know the exact date, September 12th, 2001.
That is incredible.
crazy.
That is incredible.
I didn't know you were M. Period.
M period Ali.
So you're Madam Ali.
This is Ali. It's funny. My real name's actually Matthew McConaughey, but I don't tell anybody.
Do you wear deodorant? I hear you don't.
I definitely don't. No,
All right.
a little bourbon.
All right. So, Tom, we're going to go back to you practicing with your wife out of Kansas City.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you do like high-profile cases all around the country. I just have to ask, because you guys both do it with your wives. What's it like when you have to fucking travel all the time? Because you are all across the country, man.
Yeah.
And you got
Yeah.
kids, too. So how do you balance
Yeah,
that?
it's really difficult. I'll just be honest with you, man. It's really tough.
We're going to do one last pour
Sure.
before we go with your
Sure.
Kansas City one.
This one?
No, I
yeah,
want that. I want
you want
this
to?
one.
Yeah.
We have to do this.
Oh, I got to
Then
give
we're
you a
gonna wrap it.
Pendergast cocktail, man. We gotta make it. So this has a great story. So Rieger used to be a pre-prohibition whiskey, and it went out during Prohibition, and they did their best to recreate it, and so they modernized it. The guy actually opened up this hotel and grill, and then he started distilling the whiskey again. And when COVID happened, they shut down the actual grill and the restaurant, and it was fabulous. You can go there and get cocktails. It was great. But the guy realized that during COVID, hey, you know, I could feed the homeless, or I could do all these other things. So he started doing that, and he was like, I'm not going to go back to the restaurant thing. I'm just going to continue to do good works. But fortunately, and this is why.
boring.
This is why. Guess what he did? The same time they opened up their distillery, and it's massive, and it's in the Northland in Kansas City, up along the river. It's fantastic.
What river?
Oh God.
Is it a big one
This
or a
is-
small one?
Well,
It's a big
so the
one?
Missouri and the Kansas converge, but this is the Missouri that goes through there.
Missouri.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming.
All right,
Yeah.
Corey, I want to taste it.
Yep.
It's
So
a great bottle. I love the label. That color works well with whiskey.
Yep. And so the best part about the distillery is after you're done drinking,
Oh, he likes
Smells
the
good.
smell.
It smells really
after
good.
you get done drinking, they actually have a massive.
He's excited. This guy's excited.
They got a massive.
I've never seen this
So
excited.
that's why my legs are crossed.
Wow,
They got
since
a-
Toy Story 4, he was not this excited.
They have this massive steel slide, and so you could drink, and you can slide down the slide at the end of your.
You can slide down
yeah.
a whiskey?
Well, whiskey slide, yes. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really, really good.
This is hard for
a
him to
craft
get this
whiskey,
approval. Like, he does not.
It's really great. So there's this Pendergast cocktail we make out of that's named after the mob boss in Kansas
This is
City.
fantastic.
And so it's,
Why every mob show, every mob fucking movie, guys from Kansas City. Like,
yeah, they
even
talk
like-
about the KC
like, when
mob,
these-
right?
There's a lot of guys from Kansas City for Bourbon of Proof that came in and were like, guys from Kansas City are coming. It's so like awkward. Watch your mics. Like this.
We brought a whole crew.
Oh, what's the name of that movie that
Yeah.
went into a show in 90s movie?
Oh, up in North Dakota.
Yes,
Fuck, what's
Fargo.
it called?
Fargo.
Yeah.
Fargo KC Mob. It's a
Yeah,
classic
it's on
story.
Ozark too. On
Yeah.
Ozark, the show, they have the KC mob.
Oh, the KC Mob is
Jason
they
Bateman.
are in that one.
That show's
Yeah,
incredible.
I
Do you
love
watch?
that
Do you
show.
listen to Smartless?
I don't.
Dude, that
I need
podcast,
to.
Jason Bateman.
Jason
it's
Bateman?
fucking
Is it good?
amazing.
That dude's a sociopath.
No,
Like he has no emotions.
no. Listen to him and Will Arnett and Sean
Forte.
Dude,
No, Oh no, Sean. You're right. Sean from
Hart.
Will and Grace.
Yes. They're the funniest dudes ever on that one. And they've had the one you want to interview. You said, who was your unicorn you wanted? We talked about
There's
this.
a few of them.
Oh,
We
who's the
talked about
fuck you
earlier.
said? God damn it anyway. This guy.
Yeah. I don't remember. But
But they had this person on, and it was like the funniest episode.
Jason Bateman is gonna go down as like literally one of the most legendary actors of all, like our generation.
The shit he says, the shit that happened to all these guys, and there's no holds barred. It's very fucking funny.
What's the name of the podcast?
Smartless.
Smartless.
Jason Bateman, Will Forte, and the guy
Will Arnett. not
Will
Forte.
Arnett.
Yeah.
And then the guy from Will and Grace,
Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes.
The little one.
Very funny. They have like George Clooney. Like they have some very high like A-list that they say whatever the fuck they want. Yeah.
Like,
So anyway,
to get back to
continue
what you were
we
asking,
got like
yeah.
2 more minutes to go before we wrap.
Well, so I'll be brief then. So, we have a lot on our plate at all times, right? And so you have to
barbecue and brisket.
Well, yeah, we do, we do.
Kansas City's
I wouldn't
better.
call it
You
barbecue,
can't forget the burnt
Oh,
ends.
God, this guy
of
just
course.
burned you from Houston. He said you don't have that.
I wouldn't call what you guys do barbecue, but go ahead.
He has no idea.
So
yeah,
dismissive.
yeah.
He has no idea.
Yeah, vinegar. Okay,
Well-
I get it. I
You were
get it.
talking
Bro, you can't put vinegar.
vinegar.
in
There's
barbecue?
no vinegar
Yeah,
sauces
the
in
cases-
Kansas
yes,
City.
Yes,
no,
it's like
you.
the shitty thin
He
stuff.
doesn't know. You're gonna. I will literally pay an all expenses paid trip. You can come out.
He actually
now,
sent me a bunch of barbecue from Kansas City,
Yeah.
which we grilled at
I
Sevy's
did.
house.
Was it good?
Fucking fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic.
There's no vinegar sauces in
The guy
Kansas
from
City.
LA says the guy from Kansas City can make barbecue. All
No.
right.
Well,
Oh,
no,
Lord, here
literally.
we
Like,
go.
okay, Kansas City's thing is
By the
our
way, we all
sauces
have
are.
beards.
Yeah.
I was noticing that. I feel like if we all
Fucking
hugged, it'd be
Beards
like a
Club.
Velcro connection.
All right, should we rate them in order?
No, we cannot.
That's right. No, their Kansas City sauce thing is sweet and smoky. That's our thing.
And thin and boring. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
fuck. You said there's
Wait, did
never.
you say he's thin and boring or the?
You've said there's
barbecue?
never been a fight on Bourbon of Proof. There might be soon. No, but I mean, it's a lot of balance. Like, we could go home and talk about cases all day long, and we're both like true believers with what we do with plaintiffs'
we all
work,
are. We
right?
talk about this all the time. True.
So there's a lot of that overlaps, but you got to take the time to really sit down. You got to date your wife. You got to go on trips. You got to do fun stuff, right? Because part of the reason we're doing this is because it's our passion and we love doing it. But the other part too is you have to appreciate being a human being and those experiences and your relationship with your wife and your kids and all that. So, but the thing is, these are not mutually exclusive things. There's this old guard that's like, you have to work and you have to do this and you have to do that. And it's all bullshit. The truth is, like, you can live a balanced life and do plaintiff work and just have the best life.
The best.
I can't even
Everybody
think.
here has quality of life.
Oh, yeah.
it's
We're gonna
amazing.
cheers this
everything.
out because we have quality of life for everybody here.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely.
You two, thank you for coming on.
Thanks
Prince
for having
Ali,
me.
handsome as he, looks just like me, and Tom Dickerson.
All right, I'm gonna get you on the karaoke mic later.
No.
Say that with some soul.
Anything to keep you off the ring camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
You ready? You ready for a
Yeah, that's very embarrassing.
You ready for a barbecue boxing match?
I'm down.
Actually, next year when we do Bourbon of Proof, like we can do the celebrity boxing.
God, that sounds hot.
Put vinegar on your fucking. It'd be so bad.
So you can taste it. Here's
Thank you for
right.
coming on this episode of
Yeah.
Bourbon of Proof. Ollie, Tom, you
thank
guys
you.
have been the best. Chris.
Cheers,
been a
buddy.
great-
Love you, man.
I'm gonna do my next
I
one.
really got him so white. Better handshakes.
Now we have like this whole it's a very complicated handshake.
Clearly.
Yeah, that was all on purpose.
I haven't caught on.
That was all on purpose.
That's the start of it. Okay. Thank you guys for coming on.
It's very nice
Thanks.
meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you
As
too.
well.